disadvantage in a competitive game. Obviously, that's makes a difference to selection problems, and does it make things difficult for you for this new season?
Well, I think the important thing for me was the fact we had a friendly. I mean, because we were so successful last time out in the last campaign, it meant we didn't have a chance for friendlies. We were near enough straight into, like we are now, one friendly match and then we're straight into the qualifiers. So the pressure's heaped on you straight away. You never have a chance to have a good look at your team. In club football, obviously, you've got those 6 or 7 pre-season friendlies where you can have a look at your team, see who's playing well and formulate who you think's going to work well together. It's nice to have a friendly this time round. I know there's been a lot talked about it, but for me as an individual, it gives me the opportunity to bring the likes of Martin in, and we've got 3 other players as well that are new to the squad, rather than bring them straight in for a qualifier. I mean, when people speak about what are we doing having a friendly international and an international match prior to the start of the Premier League and just a few days into the Championship, from my point of view, if they put themselves in my position, it's absolutely vital that I get a game here now, because I've got 2 qualifiers and they're 2 must-win qualifiers in September. In September, obviously, it's only 3-4 weeks away, so it's vital that I get the squad of people together, I get my staff together, and we get back into that working mode again.
You brought in some new faces this time round. Obviously, as you say, you haven't had a chance to see them this season. So what made you bring those new faces into the squad?
Well, with certain individuals, they done extremely well at the end of last season, and certainly in the case of Jordan Henderson, we wanted him in with us in March, but he was injured at the time, so we couldn't have him then. The fact that we were involved in qualifiers and a reasonably settled-ish side, if you like, and the team were doing okay before the Greek game. But, 1 or 2 of them we've had a look at. We've managed to pick up Martin this pre-season. I've seen Jordan Henderson this pre-season. So we've seen Marc Albrighton this season live between myself and Steve Wigley. So we were aware of those. But I think it's important that they done well at the end of last season and worthy of a call-up now. It's going to be a tough match for us, that's for sure. We're going to have to pass the ball very quickly on Tuesday to break them down. But they're keen as mustard to come and play us, and from where they are, the part of the world they are, it's a slightly different variation of probably what these boys are used to all the time. So it'll be an interesting game for us. But from my point of view, I've got 1 or 2 players certainly that need to come and impress me, to be quite honest with you. And I think every time you wear an international shirt, as the likes of maybe Gibbs and Wiltshire have shown, that they've been elevated into the senior squad for this time round, and that should act as a spur to the people like Martin who sat with me now, that there's a pathway there that's available. It's a great time to be a young English player, if the team not doing so well, the seniors this summer, that should act as a great spur to the young players in the under-21s, the under-19s, to say, I've got an opportunity here, a real opportunity. We have to make sure that they're good enough, that's for sure, I think in the case of the 2 boys that have gone up in Gibbs and Wiltshire, I think Fabio's very keen to have a good look at them and have a look at them around the senior players in training and whatever. As we've done before, there'll be that pathway that suggests you might go into the seniors, then back to the under-21s to get your experience and have that mixture. We've done that with the likes of Theo and James Milner and Hart, and it's served us well, I think, and I think that'll happen to certainly players that are with us today in this squad, that they'll get the opportunity to go up and get the atmosphere there if their form's good enough, both for club and country. We went to the World Cup being probably lauded up slightly too much, if you like. We were disappointed the way things went in the summer, obviously. We were hoping to achieve a hell of a lot more than we actually did, but it's twofold really. It gives great opportunities for players. If the players want to be there and they want to play, then fantastic. A couple of players decided they didn't want any international commitments anymore, but that's their choice. I can only speak through my own experience, and if ever you get the opportunity to play for your country, you have to be available to play for that. I played 60 odd caps before I was left out the team, but I was quite happy to sit in the stand for another year and wait my opportunity. And when that opportunity come, because of injury to Graham Lasso, I got the opportunity to play in Euro 96. So I think you have to take it individually, whatever your mentality is. For me, it's always a great pride to represent your country, as a player or like now as a manager. And I can speak from my own personal point of view. If ever I'm asked anyone what's the greatest thing you achieved in football, for me it's captaining my country. Well, I think last time we were here, I think we sold out, which, you know, is fantastic. That was 3 years ago. It was my first full game in charge, and I think, you know, the present climate, it'll be a little bit more difficult, the present financial climate, obviously, for people turning up to watch matches and whatever, but I still expect us to draw a good crowd from here. Obviously, things have changed at Bristol City a little bit. The expectations changed a little bit, I think, you know, with Steve Coppell coming in and David James, you know, a flagship signing, has put the club on the map really to push on for the Premier League. It's a fantastic footballing area, and probably an area that would really benefit by it, maybe having a top flight Premiership club. But from our point of view, it's a great venue. You know, we've always been very welcome when we've come down here, and we expect that to be the same tomorrow evening.